When you've written a bit of code for your microbit, you need to think about what will trigger that code to run, what will make that code start, and what will make it finish. And what you have built into your chip are certain triggers, and these are called events. So, for example, if you look at your chip, it has buttons. So if you press a button, it can trigger some code. I can press button A or press button B, or I can press both of them at the same time. You can also do things like shake your microbit. And as you shake it, that will start some code. When you open up your code editor, you'll notice you have two kind of inbuilt triggers, two inbuilt events. One is called onStart and the other is called forever. And you probably wondered what's the difference between the two. So I've created these two LED displays. One is a cross and the other one's a tick. So if I drag it onto the onStart, in other words, as you download your program, it will start on your microbit chip. And if you go and look at your emulator, I'm just going to refresh it here. It will restart it. You see it goes here with the cross, and then it goes to the tick, and then it stops. Now what if I move that and I put it in forever? And if I look at my emulator here, I'll start running it, and you'll notice it goes cross, tick, cross, tick, cross, tick, cross, tick, and it goes on forever. In other words, it's established a loop. But I can go and set further inputs. For example, I have on button A pressed, and if I right click and I duplicate that, I can change that also to a button B, and if I duplicate that, I could have another trigger, another event, with both are pressed. Or I could have on shake, when I shake the microbit, or I could have when one of the pins is activated, when one of the pins, and these pins are the ones that you see down here, when one of those is pressed. So let's try that. And of course there are other inputs that you could have as well. So if we move our code and we put it now on button A pressed, you'll notice absolutely nothing happens until I press button A, and then it does the cross and the tick. You'll notice it doesn't loop because it's not on a forever loop. So when button A is pressed, it does that, and then it does that, and then it stops. And I could change it to button B. So now when I press button B, it runs through the program. And I could change it again to button A and B. So I'll just press there. It runs through the program. On shake, so when I shake it, there we go, it runs through the program. And when pin 0 is pressed, so I'll go and press it, it runs through the program. By pressed, it means you run a charge through there, you run an electrical charge. So as we can see, you've got different events: start, forever, button A, button B, button A and B, shake, and you can change any of the pins so that it now works with pin 1 or pin 2, etc., etc. So you can change the event that triggers the code.